Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Gab and Glow podcast. I'm your host, Gigi. Happy Friday. Thanks for being here today. This week we are talking Traitors finale and just like my thoughts on it. It was my first season watching Traitors. I'm obsessed. I love it. And so I'm just excited to talk about it with you guys. And yeah, so that's going to be the main thing. I'm like, what is it? The main, because I always call it the meat of the episode, and I'm not sure that I love that. So that's gonna be our main topic for today is just Traitors finale, reunion, thoughts, all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope everyone's been doing well this week. I've actually personally been having a pretty good week. I'm not gonna lie. I've been feeling a lot better than I have been in the past. So I'm just really capitalizing on this feeling and this momentum and just kind of like kicking my butt into gear and just like kind of getting some things done that I've just been needing to do. That I've been kind of putting off because I've been not feeling great and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm super eager to get into Traitors. So let's just start with like the life updates and all that good stuff so that we can hop right in. So today when I'm recording this, it is March 7th, the start of spring meteorologically is March 1st, but astronomically, it starts on March 19th. That's when the spring solstice, I think it is. I know there's like a solstice and there's another one. I think it's spring solstice. I don't know. Look it up if you really want, if you want to know for sure. But I do know that it starts March 19th. Astronomically. So if you're going by like calendar wise, then or yeah, I don't really know what meteorologically means. I'm not gonna lie, but I think it said when I looked it up, what it said was that like it starts like meteorologically, spring starts March 1st and ends the end of May. So I think it just kind of goes like by months. Meteorologically, but then like astronomically it can be like halfway through the month because that's when certain like solstices happen and things like that. So yeah, anyway. All that to say, it's the start of spring. I really feel like an energy shift now that it's spring. Things are feeling just a lot like lighter and brighter to me. I'm feeling a lot better. So, and I really feel like it's almost like that fog of seasonal depression is like lifting a little bit. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this and just like kind of the energy that I've been feeling this past week. The beach is definitely calling me. It stinks because it keeps getting like cold and then like warm again. So it's really edging me here. I'm like getting excited for the beach, and then because it'll be warm one day, and then by the time it's around the time that I can get to the beach, it's already cold again. I'm like, crap, just I cannot wait. It's like just in my grasp. It's right there. It's right there. And when it's like saying it's like 45 degrees in the morning, I'm like, okay, maybe we're not as close as I think I am, but I really do think we are close. I'm hoping that it stays warm this weekend, and then by next weekend, it's like, okay, we're good. I'm hoping I can get to the beach next weekend. That is my goal. But yeah, I can almost taste the salt. I can feel the sand in my crack and the sun on my face. Like, oh my God, I just cannot wait until I'm back at the beach. So yeah, catch me at the beach this spring and summer. Also, the spring menu at Starbucks just dropped again. I love the spring menu because what's on the spring menu, there's just one specific thing that I am obsessed with on the spring menu, and that's their lavender latte. Mm, 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 mm. so good. I have yet been able to recreate it at home. So that's like the only Starbucks drink that I'm actually like, I have to get it from Starbucks. I can't even get close to the flavor that I want it to be when I make it at home. So, um, yeah, I'm just, I'm so excited for that to be back. So I will definitely be going to Starbucks. Sorry, I mean, like, I'm like I'm on a chair and it keeps like I feel like it keeps like sliding, so then I get like lower and lower, so then I have to like sit back up. So yeah, just sorry if I'm like constantly like sitting back up because I can like when I watch it back, it's annoying visually. So I do apologize for that, and just know that this is not my setup forever. Hopefully, it'll be changing soon. Hopefully, maybe within the next like 4, 5, 6, maybe like 8 max episodes, I'll have like a better recording space situation. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed for me. But with that will come like different seating and like more comfortable seating, so I'm not as like fidgety and stuff like that. Like I'm not constantly like moving around in my chair. It's just like when I'm sitting in this chair for a certain amount of period of time, I do have to move around or it's just really like it starts getting uncomfortable. Like I said, I start slipping. So again, sorry if I have to kind of like, you know, push myself up a little bit. It's just because I'm sinking. Okay, so yeah, I'm just extremely excited about the spring menu at Starbucks, and I'm gagged. I didn't know it was coming. I like forgot about it kind of, and then I got like a message on my phone from Starbucks, and I was like, I'm so excited. So yeah. Also, the start of the Flower and Garden Festival in Epcot is now. It just started on the 5th. Really excited to do that. I love the Flower and Garden Festival. I love the little like topiary like sculptures they make. I just think they're so cute. I love plants and flowers and like all that. And so I think it's such a beautiful, like fun festival. And also like the drinks are usually pretty good because I just love, like I love a floral like um taste. And they do that they do a lot of like floral stuff with the drinks at Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, or sorry, Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot. So I'm really excited about that. And the food options are like a lot of the times like hit or miss, just kind of depends on the pavilion. So I'm really excited to just kind of like go through, see what they have, and find some good recommendations. So keep an eye out on the Gab and Glow podcast YouTube channel, because I will be putting a vlog together for that and posting it there. Okay, so for March, I am doing motivational March is what I'm calling it. I try to do like alliteration here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm reusing this renewed energy that I have like from spring, and the weather change and just this energy shift that I'm feeling. And I'm using that to propel myself forward towards my goals. Just use that as like a little like kick in the butt to like get going, get doing some stuff that I've been kind of putting off. And just kind of really honing in onto like why I want to reach these goals. Like what has made me made these goals? Like what's the purpose behind these goals for me? So that I'm just very clear on my intentions, and just again my why, because I feel like that really helps like sustain your motivation towards your goals, because I feel like sometimes like your goals can almost feel like a punishment, but like you have to really think about like why I have this goal, and um just really keeping that at the forefront of your mind, I think can really help when you start to kind of lose that like steam behind your like um progress. So I think it's the third month of the year. I feel like we are starting to we've eased into the year, January, February. We're starting to get to like the point where like, okay, it's like starting to warm up. We're feeling a little bit better. Seasonal depression is starting to alleviate a little bit, and we can start doing our thing. So yeah, I'm calling it motivational March. Also, and so on that note, I finally did my vision board. I again like I just like woke up one day, I was feeling the energy shift, and I was like, I have a couple things that I've had on my to-do list for since the beginning of the year that I have not even touched. And it's time to get moving. So I made my vision board. I did some other stuff that I've been putting off, like make some phone calls, appointments, all that stuff that I hate doing. So yeah, I've been feeling like a really just like a boost of motivation this month, and so I just want to kind of like carry that through the rest of the month and just like kind of keep going. And yeah, so as far as my vision board goes, I posted it on YouTube and or not, I don't think, maybe I did post it on YouTube, but YouTube, maybe TikTok for sure, Instagram for sure. So if you want to look at it, check it out. It's so cute. I'm actually obsessed with it. So yeah. All right. Well, that's really all I had for life updates. So we're going to be hopping into all my Traitors finale and reunion thoughts. So first, I just kind of wanted to talk about who I knew prior to this season, because I really honestly did not know that many people. People I knew like have seen them on a show before was really only Nikki and Wes. I've never watched Survivor. I'm very curious about it, but I've never watched it. I've never watched The Challenge. I've never watched Big Brother. I'm very curious about all those shows now that I am like sat for the Traitors. So I'm like, okay, is it like similar to Traitors? Because I feel like they do have like a lot of people from those shows. So yeah, I really only knew Nikki and Wes because I've watched The Bachelor. So kind of this is how my relationship with The Bachelor is been kind of like hit or miss. I was obsessed. I like growing up. I was obsessed with The Bachelor. I watched it with my mom every week. Obsessed with Bachelor in Paradise, like all the like spinoffs, everything. Like I loved. And then when I got to college, like I was trying to watch it on my own, but I just like I ended up completely falling off. And then like by the time that I kind of remembered that Bachelorette's a thing, I just felt like I had completely like lost the plot of it, and I just felt like it was so different, and I don't know, I just feel like it didn't have that same spark that it used to have for me. So I really have stopped watching it now. Like I'm all about Love Island. The thing about Love Island is I feel like it's very similar to Bachelor in Paradise, and Bachelor in Paradise was like my favorite like Bachelor time. Like I liked Bachelor and Bachelorette, but Bachelor in Paradise was my cup of tea. I was obsessed. Like I've always been obsessed. Like since I was young. Like you can ask my mom. Like I've loved Bachelor in Paradise forever. And yeah, so I knew Wes from like his seasons in like Bachelor Bachelorette, and then I knew him like in Bachelor in Paradise as the bartender. He was just like he just made it. You know, actually, I really want to know how he did that, because like really no one else made a career of like being someone on the show long term that's not like a contestant. So like he actually got a pretty good gig with that. I'm not gonna lie, like good for him. But anyway, I only knew him, and then I knew Nikki because like I used to, when I was younger, I loved wrestling because I was a pick me. But yeah, I knew them well. I had heard of Gabby. I knew she was on The Bachelor, but I did not watch her season. It was after my time. I knew Tom. I never watched Vanderpump Rules, but my mom watches it religiously. And so she knows Tom. She knows all the lore there. I only really know Tom based on like the stuff I heard about like kind of what happened with him and Ariana and everything, but I've never like watched him on my screen ever. Chriselle, I've heard of her. but I've never watched her on my screen. Sam, I've heard of him. I knew he was Brittany's. I So I knew him as Brittany's husband. I've been super out of the loop apparently because they're divorced. So, yeah, I've heard of him, but I didn't. Obviously, I wasn't like a huge fan of him. So, yeah, I just kind of know of him. So those are the kind of people that I knew prior to. But my season favorites as like watching were Gabby, Dylan, Ayan, and Bob the Drag Queen. Those were my like four faves. Um, I personally was originally voting for the traitors to win with like the OG crew, but I feel like once we were just down to like Brittany, I was like, okay, I'd rather see like Dylan, Gabby, and like the other faithfuls win. Because I don't know. I not that I didn't like Brittany, but I just didn't feel like very connected to her. I didn't feel like I knew her that well, or like I don't know. I just feel like she just didn't stand out too much for me, so I just didn't feel like very connected to her emotionally. I was more like emotionally connected to Gabby and Dylan. So like since they were the ones that were left, I was switching to Team Faithful. Um, so my thoughts on the winners. So we had our winners were Gabby, Dylan, um, Ivar, and Dolores. And I'm not gonna lie, I would not have expected any of these four people to be there at the end, actually. So I was super like surprised. Um, let's see what else. I thought Ivor specifically would have been banished like way early because just they were like sniffing around him pretty early and like, oh well, you're a politician and all that. So I just really thought that they were gonna be like super sus of him and like basically any like read into any little thing he did. So I'm actually super shocked that he specifically made it that far. I feel like Dolores, I wonder, I think, yeah, see, I don't know um, what part of her like tactics is what kept her in for this long. I don't know if it was like just her voting was very like erratic. And so I don't know if maybe that was like helpful for the trader or not like erratic, but it kind of just like she never really like went with the court of public opinion. She's usually just put Tom or just whoever was like sus to her. She never like went with the majority. So I maybe that was like beneficial to the trader, so they kept her around for that long. And then she's just such a like trustworthy woman that the faithfuls just never suspected her. So she made it super far. I thought she was gonna get killed off pretty early just because they were like knocking off all the what's it called, housewives. I also like have never watched Housewives either. Like I'm like I like reality TV, but I've always been like growing up I was always like Bachelor, American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, um those kinds of shows. I never watched Housewives or even like and see, so my mom is like a Bravo girly, so she's watched like all the stuff, the Housewives, everything. So I feel like she would be like extra sat for this show because she would like know almost at least all the Bravo people there. I don't know. I don't think she's ever really watched like Survivor or anything like that. Me and her used to watch Amazing Race, but we never watched Survivor or anything like that. But yeah, basically all that to say, Dolores, yeah, she went far, and I really wasn't expecting her to, so that was pretty shocking to me. I thought Dylan was gonna get knocked off pretty early too, just because like, again he's very gullible. It seems like Boston Rob was playing him like a fiddle. He didn't seem like he had the life skills to survive the traders. I don't know. I just felt like maybe he was a little bit, and also he was like literally always trusting the traders. But I think maybe that ended up really working in his favor because like he was so trusting of the traders, and like the traders were almost like like I kind of feel bad. I'll take you to the end. I'm gonna have to stab you in the back of the end, but I'll take you to the end. I don't want to kill you. Like, so I think that it ended up working in his favor, I think, but it could also make you um a pretty early target as well. So I just wasn't sure that he would last that long. Gabby, I think I also thought she would get murdered a lot like sooner because I think she just was so like uh quick to not like quick to name people, but she wasn't scared to name people, and I think that can be uh just what's the word, not daunting, but like threatening to the traitors. So I would see like them wanting to get rid of her for that. So I was actually really surprised that she lasted as long as she did, and I don't know if maybe it was just because like there was some suspicion on her being a traitor, so it's like they wanted to keep her because like it's like, okay, let me keep the people who are suspicious so I can kind of take the heat off of me. I feel like I'm like I feel like I'm just like explaining traitors to you, like as someone who's watched it for the first time, and I feel like the people who are watching this are probably like, yeah, I've watched it. I know the strategies. Like, what's that one quote? Like, don't quote the scripture to me, which I was there when it was written. I feel like that's what everyone is saying to me right now with my thoughts. But yeah, so did I touch on everyone, the top four? Yeah, I did. Okay, perfect. So then the next topic I wanted to talk about was Alan's outfits. So iconic. Literally, like, just always slaying the house down boots. Sometimes with a matching outfit from the dog. Love that. It was just really iconic. I feel like he's just like living his best life, having such a good time. I would love to be the host of the Traitors because he's literally just like in his little castle, just creating havoc and mayhem, and then he just gets to watch and just laugh at them. It could be a fun hosting gig. So yeah, I kind of the rest of my thoughts are kind of in chronological order of how they kind of talked about them in the reunion. So that's gonna kind of be the flow of my next or the rest of my points. So the next thing is just when they I didn't know the math on it, but it was just funny how they said that Dolores voted incorrectly 8 out of the 10 times, which is so funny. It's because she was literally every single time like not voting for the people they were talking about. It was almost always Tom, I feel like, because maybe like someone else randomly here and there, but she really was just like, it's Tom, I don't care. But I guess Andy said she's the first housewife to win Traitors, which is super cool. I think like it's so cool to like break a record or like hold like the title of like the first for doing something. I just feel like it's just such a fun thing to be able to say about yourself. So uh awesome job to Dolores, first housewife to win Traitors. Also when they said that, I think Danielle is the one who said that she used to be a Dolores used to be a correctional officer, and like I wouldn't have known that just because I'm thinking like housewife. Like in my mind, housewives like that's all they've done. But I'm sure because I feel like the people who have been on Housewives have been on Housewives for forever. Like I feel like ever since I was young. But like maybe they're not actually still on Housewives, but because I don't watch it, like I said, so maybe they're on it for like shorter stints, but they're still like in the public eye and like talked about as if they were a housewife. So I don't know if maybe that like is skewing my perception of like how long they're actually like on their housewives show for. But yeah, I always like think of them as just really rich women who have never had to like work and I know that's not the case. That's a very big generalization, but just in my head that's just like what I was thinking. So when they said that she used to be a correctional officer, I was like, oh my gosh, like I would have not expected that from her. But like now that I'm looking at her, knowing that information, I'm like, okay, I can totally see that, because like she does have that like she just seems like a strong, independent woman who's just like a bad bitch. So yeah, iconic for that. Let's see. Dylan. Okay, let's talk about Dylan for this season. I think he was this season's like token naive boy. I do know, so I haven't watched season 2, but I do know that Bergie is in that season, which he's from Love Island US season 5. I loved him, Love Island season 5. Oh my gosh, I was just like, oh my little Bergie, like I just want him to like go so far. Like I was so happy he stayed on Love Island as long as he did, and I'm so happy that like he just kept getting saved so that he could like get matched up with Taylor. Like I just love that for him. But anyway, I love how he really came into Traitors, just being like, because I've seen like some clips where he's like, I'm like, I don't want to. What would he say? Like, I think people think I'm easily manipulated, and like I'm going to show them that I'm not. And so I feel like Dylan kind of had that same energy. So that's why I'm thinking like Dylan is kind of like this season's kind of like Bergie. So I think that they must have like a token kind of like naive little like sweetie baby boy on every season. I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to see. I'm not sure who's on season 1, so I'm not sure if there's someone like that in season 1. We'll have to see if they're in season 4. But yeah, he was just like the little baby boy. Thank you, casting agents, for casting him, because he just makes me want to like kick my feet and just like squeal every time he talks. Like he talks exactly like Zac Efron. Like their voices are identical. Like if I'm not looking at the screen, like I would think it was Zac Efron. So I'm just like, I'm actually head over heels for Zac Efron. And like since their voices are identical, I would be like Zach. But I still love Zach. I still love Zach more. Sorry, Dylan. But the mustache was super hot at the reunion. I'm not gonna lie. You ate with that, so keep the mustache. Yeah, raw. Next question. Next bullet point. Okay, so just also a moment of appreciation for Ayan, Carolyn, Danielle, and Bob's outfits. Bob, the drag queen, not Bob Harper. I mean, his was cute too, but just their dress, like the 4 dresses of the people that I was just talking about. I loved them. I mean, like everyone looked good, but I just think them 4 really stood out outfit wise. So I think they had just glittery. If you're wearing glitter, rhinestone, anything, I'm gonna think you're slaying. Can we talk about Brittany betraying Danielle again? I know they had cleared the air, and Brittany had said sorry and all that stuff, but I was thinking like Danielle's really trusting Brittany. Even after she betrayed her, like she's been saying she did. So it's just kind of like, why would you want to bring her in as a traitor with you? Like, I know like you guys are friendly now, but it's like, how do you know you can really trust her to do that with you? So kind of when Dolores said like, fool me once, shame on me, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, Danielle, why'd you let her fool you twice, babe? That's crazy. It's okay. I probably would have done the same thing. I'm not going to lie. But let's see. If I were Danielle, I think I would have picked Gabby or Dylan as my second traitor if I was Danielle, just because I don't think that no one would have suspected Dylan. And I think Gabby, there was suspicion on her, but she was either going to be able to evade it or you could throw her under the bus. So, um, not that I would want you to do that, but I'm just saying. I think if I were trying to win the game and I was like trying to win, I think that's how I would do it. Um, let's see what else. Oh, Tom sitting next to Dolores at the reunion was just so funny to me because Dolores literally voted for him almost every time. I want to say, like, I feel like every time she turned it over, it said Tom. Unless I'm making that up, but I feel like it was so often. So I just thought it was just funny because he was sitting next to her, like, oh, and she literally voted for him every single time. Um, Wes's speech, I forgot how crazy it was. Like, the stuff he was saying was actually crazy. And when he called himself a bitter ass bitch, that I mean, I love the accountability. I love the self awareness, and I don't know, you kind of slayed with that. I'm not gonna lie. Ayan, and I feel like she was just like so silly and iconic. I loved her. I really wish she did have more screen time. I'm sad that she got like the boot as early as she did. I feel like she would have been fun to have in the game long term, but I also understand that she probably wasn't going to be too helpful with some of the more like dirty. I feel like a lot of the challenges are very like dirt, grime, all the things, bugs, and I get the vibe that Ayan would not want to do the bug stuff. So I just feel like she'd probably just like not be super helpful in challenges if it just was something she wouldn't want to do. So I could see that being one of the reasons why she just was like gone pretty early. If she wasn't gone like that early, I'm sure she wouldn't have made it to the end for that reason. Also, Bob the drag queen, he's always a savage, but he always eats. Russell was like, "Oh my gosh, he's kind of brutal." I was like, "Listen, don't for, don't come for the queen if you don't want to get slayed, because like he'll eat you up." But but really, I just feel like it was all a game. I feel like he wasn't like genuinely insulting people, and I feel like it was just kind of more for like just to be like unserious and just be a little like sassy. I don't think he really meant anything serious by like any of the little like backhand comments he said. Wells and Ayan being besties is kind of interesting to me. I loved like how she felt comfortable with him in the house and like how she felt like she could go to him, but I feel like now that they're out, I think it's weird that they like are still so close. Um, I wonder how Sarah Hyland feels about that, who's married to Wells, if anybody didn't know that. Um, Also, everyone has been saying that Boston Rob is hot and that he's daddy. I personally don't feel that way about him. I feel like he gives like, or he was giving like Disney villain to me, but I didn't know him in like previous things. Like I didn't know him before this show, so just like to me, it was like he was just giving villain. Like when he was like that clip they kept showing of him doing the evil laugh, just that haunts my nightmares. And I just feel like it's all I can think about when I look at him, and it doesn't quite do it for me. um, I will say one of my favorite things about Traitors as a show is just like watching people say that they're really good at knowing when people are lying or things like that, and then like the editing cuts to them literally being absolutely clueless. It actually never gets old. It has me cackling every single time because it's so funny just to watch someone just be like so matter of fact, like, I know it, and then it'll be like them being like, "Yeah, I know you're faithful. Like, I would never think you're a traitor," and they're literally a traitor. It's just so funny. It's just hysterical. Um, so yeah, I just die every time. So that compilation that they did at the reunion, I was in tears. So funny. Um, I love when Bob the drag queen gives drag names to everyone, and he's like really quick with it. Like when he was like to Dylan, he called them like he goes, "Your drag name should be Misguided." He's coming for him at the round table. I thought that was so iconic. And then the one he had for Tom was funny too. Is that she need a clue? That is so hysterical. But I did also I liked what Tom said. It was kind of funny when he said, "No, I would be Visa Manderump." Like okay. But that's the thing. I feel like I do. That's one thing I will say about Tom is I feel like he was like a good sport this season and really took like jokes at his expense on the chin. Um, so yeah, and I think he was like, from what I saw, I think a pretty good team player. I think he really wanted to like work with people and be a good faithful. So I think I did like him on this show. I don't think that he's like I'm not his biggest fan, but I do feel like this is my first time watching him on screen, and like if I didn't know kind of like all the lore of like his past, I would probably be like I'd probably really be kind of loving him this season. Not like in a like a hot way or anything, but just like kind of he was just kind of like silly, just making me laugh, just always like looking so like serious and concerned. Like he thinks he's like that's the thing. It's like in his head he was like this detective, but like he also just had like no clue what was going on. It was just so funny. It was just like yeah, he was good on Traitors. I liked him. Yeah. I I did see the video. I did see the video of Dylan and running into Boston Rob's arms at the airport, and like Boston Rob like doing like the princess lift and like lifting him up and spinning him around. Um, and when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, oh, they're in love still, even though Boston Rob was lying to Dylan the whole time. So I just thought it was funny that they brought it up in the reunion, and they were like, no, like you're in love or whatever. I'm like, I thought that. But no, I did like that. It's like a big brother, little brother like situation there. I think it's cute. Um, let's see what else. What else? What else? Oh, Sam. He was like I was actually so shocked by that like smart move he was trying to pull that one day at breakfast. Um, and it was kind of interesting to see him on the show. I honestly like I've never known much about him, but I just in my head I wouldn't have like pegged him. And again, I don't know him, but like just from what I know of him, I don't know that I would have been like, oh my god, that guy's so smart. So I just think like I was really like taken back, like oh my god, like that was actually a like a super intelligent way to try to figure out who the traitors are. Tom blew it, but it would have worked. So yeah. Ugh, Tom, come on now. But um, yeah, I did think it was interesting seeing Sam on the show. I didn't know that him and Brittany got divorced. I'm very out of the loop on that. Like I was saying, I'm not sure kind of what like the court of public opinion is on him. I know that I think he helped her get out of her conservatorship, so I don't know if people like him or not. I don't know. I don't know the deal with him honestly. Like maybe I should look him up somewhere. But I I saw him on the show, and I probably won't see him again. I'm not gonna lie, so it probably doesn't matter. So anyway, um, Danielle winning best performance in a Scottish castle um, for all the fucking time was so funny. She really did act her ass off, though. I'm not gonna lie. Hearing everyone say that, like, hearing all the faithful say that she definitely like convinced them, I think makes me like kind of look on her acting with kinder eyes because I think I knew she was a traitor. So like I'm looking at it like, oh my god, like this looks so obvious. It's like you're clearly overacting. Um like how are people not knowing? But I feel like I think I've got to cut these guys some slack because like I know, so it looks fake to me. But you know, if you don't know she's a traitor, like it could be seeming really genuine. So um, yeah, I think I have to take back what I said about her making it so obvious. So I'm gonna take that back. I also think that her having one of the longest runs in traders or as a trader is iconic. I do think that I think she was a great trader. Like, I mean, I haven't seen like the other season traders and like how far they get and kind of like what their tactics are. So I really don't know in comparison. But I think she was a great trader, and I really don't understand the hate that people are saying like she's the worst in history. I mean, I feel like obviously not because she was like she lasted longer than a lot of people. So yeah, I don't know. I'll watch other seasons. I'll see what I think. Also, congratulations to Gabby on her marriage. I thought it was just like so sweet to see how, like her talk about how like maybe she can get married with the money. So just congratulations to the happy couple. I was so happy to see that Instagram post. I thought it was so cute. And then like watching, like I saw the post and then I watched the reunion and I was like, or you know, you watch the finale, you watch the reunion, you're just like, oh my gosh, like it was so cute that she was like saying like that she wanted to use the money like to get married, and now they are. So it's so cute. I also one thing I do love is when celebrities or when siblings of like big celebrities go on a reality show and then it's like the celebrity is now referred to as the sibling. So like with Dylan, a lot of people can be watching trailers right now and be like, oh, like uh they'll see Zach, maybe like people who watch Traders will see like Zach, who knows Zach, and are like, oh my god, like so you're Dylan Efron's brother. And I liked how that also kind of happened with Cordell and like Odell Beckham when Cordell went on Love Island. So I just love when that happens. I feel like sometimes because nepo babies I feel like are different, but like nepo sibling nepo siblings I feel like are different because I feel like it's almost when your sibling is doing is in the public eye, I think like and doing so much, I feel like a lot of the times those siblings um like kind of just kind of end up not on the back burner, like, but you know what I mean, like they're just I feel like they kind of would often just feel like left out, or maybe like, you know, people only use them to get to their brother or sister, or just like they might feel like their whole lives revolve around, you know, working for their sibling in some sort of like fashion. I know, like, I feel like I see a lot of like people who get big in the public eye, like usually their family just like kind of starts working for them and like helping them. And um, I'm sure like there's I mean, there's obviously some great benefits to that, but I think also sometimes they may feel like, dang, like my sibling's so big and I'm kind of feeling like forgotten over here. So I feel like, you know, it's nice for them to be like in the spotlight a little bit and like finally be like the one that's referred to as like the celebrity, and like their sibling be referred to as like the sibling. So I like that for them. Overall, I loved the cast, loved this season, loved the reunion. I'm going to watch season 2, season 1, and I just cannot wait for season 4. Loved Traitors. I'm so happy. We started watching it on a whim, and I think I'm gonna try to get my mom into it because I think she'll be obsessed with it. So yeah, that's all my thoughts on Traitors. Let's do our daily affirmation. Let me find. I didn't pull the thing out like I normally do. Okay, here we go. All right. Contrary to popular belief, I know exactly what I'm doing. The popular belief is me in my head. See, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it. And so are you. You know exactly what you're doing, and you are going to do it. All right? Well, thank you so much for listening. I want to hear from you. So please comment, leave a Q&A, email me, DM me, whatever way you want to get in contact with me. Do it. Let me know what you thought of this season of Traitors, what you thought of my thoughts on Traitors, and just your thoughts on the pod as well. If you enjoyed this episode, if you're enjoying the pod in general, let me know. If you are liking the pod, please leave me a rating on Spotify, or subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget to listen to the new episodes dropping every Friday. Podcast Instagram and TikTok is Gab and Glow Podcast. But Gab and Glow Podcast YouTube channel is just Gab and Glow Podcast. My personal Instagram and TikTok is _GIGI Raju _. Lastly, please DM me stories or email them to gabandglowpodcast@gmail.com. I am always looking for stories like worst dates, worst breakups, family drama, crazy exes, honestly, any crazy lore. Drop it to me to be read on the pod anonymously. All right. Well, thanks for gabbing with me, and don't forget to keep on glowing. Bye.